Welcome back to the Upper Tier Podcast. This is your FA Cup third round draw review. Darren, how we doing, my man?
I was doing all good and I splashed that Coke on the screen there. No, sorry about that. I feel like I blew me load all over the camera there. It was me Coke Zero load, not anyone, just before anyone asks. Yeah, the old FA Cup got me excited there for a minute, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. This is the third round draw we wanted to take a look at that happened previously. Toys are being played between January the 7th and the 10th, but obviously the TV schedule isn't out yet. But we know that obviously the two boys behind us are going to heavily feature on our TV programming for that round, no doubt.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that shortly. We said we'd have a quick look down through the toys, mainly the Premier League toys, in terms of who's involved. So we'd start with Wolves and Sheffield United.
Yeah, so listen, Wolves are at home here. They're Premier League sides. I know they'll probably look to give guys a game and stuff like that, but Sheffield United haven't been lighting the Championship on fire recently. They picked up a couple of results, but not consistent, let's say. Under Jokanovic, who was the Fulham manager, he got them promoted a couple of years ago, you know. So they're a little bit. They're still building. Sheffield United are rebuilding. Let's say from the Chris Weiler days. Probably the biggest threat to Wolves here is actually a Wolves player. Morgan Gibbs-White is on loan from Wolves at Sheffield United. I don't know what the loan entails. Is he available or is he not available? He's probably the biggest threat here for Wolves. So, you know, that kind of says it all, isn't it? A guy that can't get into the Wolves squad is the biggest threat for their opposition. This should be a Wolves win. I know we don't play football on paper, but this should be a handy Wolves win, if I'm honest.
Well, the beauty of the FA Cup is there's always an upset somewhere along the line, you know. But I don't expect this to be it. Wolves have showed really good form recently, and I think they won't be looking over their shoulder at this stage. I'd say they'll be in a reasonable position in the league, and I think they'll play a fairly strong side because most of these clubs, as we know, this is their bread and butter, really, the FA Cup in terms of their chances of winning a bit of silverware. So I'd expect them to play a full strength side, and I'd expect them to beat Sheffield United.
Yeah.
West Ham versus Leeds. This is intriguing now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is going to be, as we talked about earlier, this is going to be a physical game, isn't it? The boys are going to rough each other up in this. Again, two teams that are probably, you know, just after the busy Christmas period, going to rest a number of players, aren't they? The one thing we've said constantly about Leeds is their lack of squad depth has hurt them at times. I think West Ham have a little more going on. You know, we've seen them, obviously, they've been able to manage their Europa League campaign in line with our Premier League, where they were playing a Premier League team and then a midweek team and stuff like that. I think that Europa League team will end up playing against Leeds, or most of it, and I think West Ham have enough here to turn Leeds over, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I suppose the conundrum for Moyes really is, I mean, if he's still floating around a potential top 4 or top 6, and he's also, you know, he's doing well in the Europa League. The fear here is that you try and prioritize everything and you end up with nothing. So he may have to, and we're not talking here about throwing a game, but he may have to sacrifice the FA Cup in terms of what he wants out of Europe and potentially what he wants out of his league finishing position.
You see, I see him possibly doing that, but I also think Leeds are going to be looking at a game like this and they're going to be thinking, this isn't important to us at the minute because our Premier League status is important to us. And I think Leeds will do something similar to West Ham do, as in make changes and not prioritise the game. And I think West Ham have a better squad and a deeper squad, which will probably be absolutely, which will probably be enough to get them over the line in this and the home advantage, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. This is an intriguing one. West Brom versus Brighton. This could be the potential banana skin of the round, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I have to say. West Brom have been doing okay in the Championship, you know. They're up there. They're in the top 2, maybe 3. playing some decent football, scoring goals.
Tough place to go.
Yeah, the Hawthorns isn't a nice place to go at the best of times. Even when they've been the whipping boys in the Premier League, it wasn't an easy place to go. Again, tight ground, stands are on top of the pitch, aren't they, and stuff like that. That East Midlands crowd and stuff like that. Good, knowledgeable football fans up there in West Brom, aren't they? I think this will be very tough for Brighton. Again, I think Brighton are going to go in and they're going to make changes. I think you'll see lads getting games. You'll probably see, Dan Bourne will start. You'll probably see Jason Steele playing goal and stuff like that. And you might see Danny Welbeck get a game, or the lad Alexis McAllister, and these kind of fringe players for Brighton, and I think if West Brom decide to have a go at this is where you could see one of your upsets. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Tottenham versus Markham.
Tottenham versus Markham. Yeah, listen, this is gonna be Tottenham all day long, isn't it? Now again, they're gonna rest players, but Tottenham's B team is gonna be more than capable of beating Markham's A team, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder how much he would rest as well. Conte knowing there's a lot of pressure on him there to deliver silverware. This would be one of his better chances. This and probably the Europa Conference.
Yeah, it will, but I think he'll understand he has it in hand here. I'd imagine we'll see the likes of Bergwijn and stuff like that play from the start. He might start out as a striker and stuff like that. Maybe Dele Alli will get a game. Maybe Matt Doherty, guys like this, will play. I think Spurs will do this with a depleted side, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it'd be mad with mad if Conte dropped an FA Cup in there in his first season at Spurs, wouldn't it?
It really shake things up, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Swindon Town versus Man City. We know Pep never rests anyone for these cup games. He plays a full strength side every time. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, every single game.
Well, I think the thing at City is, he has so much to choose from.
He's 2-11s.
He's 2-11s. Look at what he played the other night with the second team, which was Foden, De Bruyne, and Grealish. You're like, really? Yeah. Listen, this will be City comfortably.
Be how many, not how.
I'm gonna make an early prediction that he's gonna play the boy Cole Palmer and he's gonna get in the score sheet. This kid's gonna be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This kid really, really is a top footballer, underage level with England. He's the kind of guy that City have been looking for to come through the academy. The likes of Foden, Palmer, stuff like that. Younger lads that are coming in and are not having to pay transfer fees on. If you pick 2 or 3 of those lads up and they make your squad, all of a sudden then you have an outlay for other players here and there. Do you know what I mean? Because you save money in those positions and stuff like that. And I'm gonna say early shout, Cole Palmer gets in the score sheet against Swindon in the FA Cup.
Nice. Swansea City versus Southampton.
Another banana skin. Another
tough place to go.
The Irish lad Michael Obafemi is on loan from Southampton to Swansea at the minute. He scored, but he hasn't really gotten into the side in the way he probably thought he would have, dropping down a level. They're still trying to find their best 11 for me, Swansea. I look at I follow the championship week to week, and every week it's a different team. It's not settled, and they're just not hitting their straps. But on a one-off game, they can be very, very good. And we know Southampton again, they struggle for goals, don't they?
Yeah.
They really struggle for goals. And there's always a chance to get leak 1 or 2. I'm going to say this could be another banana skin with the West Brom game. We may be proved wrong, but listen, I think there's a banana skin here for our friend Ralph, the governor. And I think Swansea might do this.
Interesting. Port Vale versus Brentford.
So there's a big gulf here, isn't there? There's a couple of divisions here. Brentford will obviously look to get guys games in this game, you know what I mean? You probably see the boy Vset and stuff like that, who got the equaliser against you lads, didn't he?
Yeah.
And we'll see a few other lads that we maybe haven't seen week to week get a run out. Possibly even, I don't know, maybe the return of David Raya and stuff like that. Yeah, listen, I think Brentford will do this.
So many of these teams is depending on their league position at the time, isn't it? Really, whether they're looking over their shoulder or whether they're okay.
Yeah, part of it is absolutely. I don't see the FA Cup's a priority for anyone like Brentford. I think this season's got to be survival of the fittest. Stay in this league, build on it, get through your second season, and then your third season you look to kick on. You know, so yeah, I think they'll be looking to get guys a game and stuff like that. And I think they won't take it too seriously, but I think they'll have enough for poor fail here.
Yeah, absolutely. This next game is one that I think is a really nice game, one that I'm looking forward to as much as United and Villa. But Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. I think this is the makings of a cracking game.
Yeah, Forest have kind of been a bit different in the Championship, you know. They go and have a result and then they lose, and then they have a result and then they lose, and you're kind of thinking, are they going to get this ball rolling and stuff like that? Now, the Championship's a tough out league, you know, we talk about that. They don't tend to score enough goals, which is the biggest problem I'm going to say for Forest, you know. Now, they've tightened things up a little bit at the back in recent weeks and stuff like that. They don't tend to score an awful lot of goals. And I think Arsenal have been a little bit more miserly recently at the back, obviously, other than Old Trafford last week, you know. I think Arsenal will do this. Yeah. You know, I think Arsenal will do this. I think they'll do it, I'm going to say comfortably, but I think comfortably might not project into the score. I'm going to say 2-0 Arsenal, but it'll be a little more comfortable than that, you know.
I fancy Forest for this one. I think a cup game up there at Forest, I think, is a very tough. The crowd up there will be absolutely amped up for this. And I think this one sets up for Forest. Again, it depends where we're at in the league with Arsenal, and, you know, have things gone so far south that Arteta's gone, pending or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So it's hard to judge Arsenal at the moment because it's the unknown with them, isn't it, over the next, say, 4 to 5 weeks. But
yeah, absolutely. I mean, depending on results, you don't know who's in charge for that game.
That's the thing. But I think Nottingham Forest, I like Nottingham Forest as a cup team as well. And
there's great nostalgia about Forest as a cup team, isn't there? You know.
Yeah, and they've a heritage in their fan base as well that would remember a lot of that.
Yeah.
So you always, you know, I could see this being you know, the evening is BBC. Are BBC getting any of these games? They probably are already.
Sunday evening, 5:30.
This could be the
spotlights
BBC
on. Yeah. See the Brett in front of you.
Yeah.
All of that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what I'm thinking with this one, you know. Newcastle versus Cambridge.
Yeah, this could be funny actually, because you know, it's obviously mid-January, isn't it?
Yeah, 7th to the 10th.
7th to the 10th, so it's just approaching mid-January. Yeah. You may even see a little debut here for Newcastle, you know, because we fancy them being quite active in January, don't we?
I think they're banking on it as much as we are, to be honest.
I know they're heavily linked with the boy Therese Campbell at Stoke, a really good footballer, obviously. You know, but yeah, I think we might see an L debut for this game. I think they'll try and get someone in before then and maybe blood them in this game with a view to then getting them moving in the league. But yeah, I think Newcastle are going to have enough here, aren't they? Yeah, this could be one of those confident builders for a team like Newcastle, that they could go out and try something against a team like Cambridge and play a particular way or get guys goals and stuff like that. Try and get them rolling then in January and stuff like that as well, you know?
Yeah, again, league position will dictate a lot here, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
United versus Villa sells itself, really, doesn't it? Stevie G going back to United.
Safe to say it's the tide around, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is. It's the tide around, you know. two, traditionally good cup teams. Stevie obviously loves an FA Cup. Ralph, this will be his first taste of it. Certainly won't be an easy game. If I cast my mind back a couple of years, we had a rough third round game. I believe it was Leeds. They knocked us out at Old Trafford. They weren't fancied at all, and United went in, made a lot of changes, and we got picked off. Pretty sure it was Jermaine Beckford got the winner. I think they beat us 1-0 at Old Trafford. This will all be on team selection for me. If I'm honest, like if he goes out like he did tonight and decides to rest a huge amount of players, this will be a tough day at the office.
Yeah.
Will he decide, you know what? This is a viable option for us. This FA Cup, I could do it winning a trophy here. And if he decides that and puts a kind of 60 to 70% team out, I think we'll have enough to beat Villa. Because again, I think Villa will make a few changes and try and get guys games. I think you'll see the likes of El Ghazi and stuff like that playing, and Trezeguet, and depending on who's playing at that stage, Watkins or Ings, you might see the opposite one get a game and stuff like that. But listen, Stevie's going to want to win this, isn't he? He's had some success at Old Trafford as a player, and he's going to want to try and keep that rolling as a manager. I just think it'll be all down to team selection on the day. But yeah, I'd have to say United for now.
Yeah, it depends what comes out of that busy Christmas period as well, injury wise as well, and
100%. And at that stage, are we at AFCON?
Oh yeah, we're right in the midst of it.
So absolutely. I know he loses a couple, doesn't he, Stevie?
Think so, yeah. I
think he loses a couple. He definitely loses the boy Marvellous, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Nakamba.
Yeah.
He's gonna lose him, and I thought there was another couple he was gonna lose. We'll have to maybe have a look at that ahead of time.
Yeah.
That might be something that might be a little show coming up, actually, see who's gonna be missing in the Premier League over that period from your teams,
Yeah, well, you'll be doing a United Villa preview, I'd imagine, for that on the Red Devils report anyway. So
absolutely
closer to the time, so you'll know more. Then. Yeah. Liverpool versus Shrewsbury.
This will be Liverpool's second team getting the win.
Yeah, I think so. The boys will have headed off to the.
This will be our boy. Well, I suppose with the two lads missing, obviously, there can't be as wholesale changes as you think, because the guys that you're going to play in the following game are possibly the guys who would have played this game, the likes of Origi, Minamino and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And they might now be in the shake-up for a game with Jota and with Firmino, again, depending on injuries.
Well, see, the question is, would he shake it up even further, because he's going to need those guys for the league?
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah, so the question is, will he go down nearly to a third tier in terms of the shake-up?
Now, listen, there should still be enough in it for you guys. But, again, you don't know if there's, what happens if Liverpool pick up an L? Let's say Jota gets injured over the Christmas period. You've Jota gone. You've Mane and Salah on their holidays at the AFCON.
Yeah.
And you're left with Minamino and Origi flanking Firmino. Is he going to play them against Shrewsbury then, knowing there's another game the following week? Certainly not. So what does that give you up front? It'll be interesting, let's say. But again, I still think Liverpool should just have enough to get over the line here.
Yeah. Especially you're looking at it as well, I suppose, with Klopp. I mean, the cups haven't been his flavour, really. Sure, they haven't, in terms of, I won't go as far as to say they've been disrespected, but I mean, he's just been a victim of his own success in terms of what he's had to deal with the deck of cards he's had. At times for the Villa one, I think we were away, weren't we? We were away at the Super Cup, or
we're at the World Club Championships, aren't you?
Yeah. So I mean, and the boys had only come back, or they were on the way back 2 days before or 2 days after or something. So he had to play a reduced side and stuff like that now. But I just think with Klopp, I think his thinking is always towards the league and the Champions League. and everything else is kind of a bonus if it comes his way, really. You know, I think and I think he was similar as well. I know in the German league as well. I think he's seen them as being a day out really more than anything else.
They got turned over a couple of times by lower league opposition on the basis that he was blooding players. But listen, he's right. Like, he's got to have what you would call downtime for certain players, where you go, this is the opportunity for these boys to get a kick. You know, the boy, obviously, Bradley, he played, he finished the game in Milan last night.
Yeah.
Maybe he's an option, you know, and you don't necessarily know what the standard is like until you've seen him in a couple of games and kind of get a feel for these guys. But they do need to be blooded, because otherwise, if you do have injuries and stuff like that, or the AFCON hits and stuff like that, and don't forget, we've got the World Cup next year at a funny time as well.
Yeah.
Like, who have you got as backup? You know, we know that Liverpool squad is a little bit bare in areas, you know.
At times, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah,
certainly during the month of January, it's going to be.
He's got to try and pad that out a little bit, with some of the younger lights and getting them a game and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, January's going to be a bit of navigation for him, as I say. He's going to have to navigate his way through that month.
Yeah, I think the big thing with Liverpool will be, you know, getting through it, you know, without dropping too many points, or without sliding out of the title picture completely. If they can get through the month and still be within touching distance, they're big in the game then. You know, that's how I would say it.
Yeah, absolutely. Leicester versus Watford, all Prem toy.
All Prem toy, lots of changes again. You know, we hope Brendan's still there at that stage, don't we?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? We hope Ranieri's still there at that stage, because Watford really know how to give it a chop, don't they? They've got someone with an itchy trigger finger, big time, man. They really do. Yeah, Watford and Leicester shared 6 goals there last weekend. It was 4-2 Leicester. I wouldn't be surprised to see a hunk of goals in this again. Maybe like a basketball game, you score, we score, and whoever scores the most wins the game, that type of thing. But you'd have to fancy Leicester at home, wouldn't you? Yeah, with their little bit of FA Cup pedigree as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Defending champions.
This is it.
Chelsea versus Chesterfield. The Battle of the Seas.
The Battle of the Seas, yeah. This is Tuchel giving us his lesser known lights of game here.
His 5th team. Without disrespecting Chesterfield in any way.
Listen though, they've got they're gonna lose a couple for the AFCON as well, aren't they? Mendy.
I'm not too sure. Again, as you said, we'll have to have a look at that. We'll have to have a look at what Premier League players are going to the AFCON.
I'm sure Mendy will miss it, right? So maybe Kepa playing the league games then. Who ends up playing the cup games if Kepa's playing them? You know?
Kepa might have to play both.
He might. I don't think it's going to be a big stretch for him, by the way, but
no.
You know, traditionally they like to give keepers a game and something like that, don't they? Not Willie Caballero there at the minute either, is there?
Could be an opportunity for him.
Might be. But yeah, listen, Chelsea will put a weakened side out there and have a comfortable day at the office, I'd imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. This one I picked out as a bit of a banker in terms of banana skins. Charlton versus Norwich.
Is that at the Valley?
It is.
Yeah, that'll be a tough game for Norwich, won't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Probably again after a rough Christmas period, devoid of any kind of confidence.
Morale.
You know, Dean Smith staring down the barrel of a second sacking in the season, and you're thinking, "Oh no, don't do it to him." I don't know. Have you ever seen a Premier League manager get sacked twice in one season for 2 different teams? Drop it in the comments below if you can remember who got sacked, or if anyone's ever got sacked twice in the same season by 2 different sides. We must check that out. I think if it's going to happen to anyone, it's going to happen to poor Dean, isn't it? It's like going from the frying pan into the fire, from Villa to Norwich. Charlton are going to do everything they can to pour on the petrol onto those flames, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
they haven't been great, Charlton, but again, on any given day, the team can get up for this, and they just need 90 minutes, to get through.
Yeah, another tough old ground as well, the Valley.
Yeah, absolutely. Good football fans down there at the Valley.
Yeah, that's another one of those wet evening BBC ones.
And I was going to say, it's a cabbage patch as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you play spot the blade of grass on that pitch, I think.
Are you going Charlton on that one?
But you know what I'm going?
Haven't said all that.
I'm going penalties. It's penalties, isn't it? There's no replays.
Oh, is there not? No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going penalties.
Okay, interesting.
So, toss of a coin.
And after penalties?
Toss of a coin. Anyone could win it.
You're not putting your...
Maybe. I'll tell you what. Let's really go for it, right? Let's say penalties.
Yeah.
And let's say Dean Smith brings on Tim Krul for the penalties and Norwich win it. Like Louis van Gaal did in the World Cup, yeah?
Jeez, I don't know. Based on Tim Krul so far this season, if he brings him on, he could be in trouble. He's been horrific.
I think he needs to. I think he needs to change his name to Tim Very Krul.
Yeah, I think that lad's been putting a lot of DP on his lower back from picking balls out of a net this season. Burnley versus Huddersfield to round it out.
Could be another banana skin here. Could be. Huddersfield, if anyone follows the Championship, they will know Huddersfield are Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
Huddersfield go from spanking teams 4-0 to 0-all draws or losing against, relegation candidates. They are just all over the place. They absolutely smashed West Brom a couple of weeks ago, and then went out the following week and got tonked. So you're kind of going, where's the middle ground here? Yeah. I'd have to think, though, this is a banana skin for Burnley. I think Huddersfield, these two teams aren't miles away from each other either. They're that Lancashire, Yorkshire, Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a derby, but it's not a million miles away from it either,
It's as close as you can get within a sort of a round three, isn't it?
It's a local rivalry, we'll call it. I'm gonna stick my neck on the line and I'm gonna say Huddersfield. Go on.
Okay, I'm going to. Again, I'm looking at this one and I'm thinking Burnley's position in the league, Dyche's priority might be elsewhere. But I suppose I think with Burnley, even if you make a few changes in it, they're kind of at that level, and no disrespect to them, that even if you make 2 or 3 changes, you're kind of still at that level, aren't you? Really?
Well, listen, they're gonna be missing one of their better players, we know as well, though. The boy Maxwell Cornet, because he'll be at the AFCON.
Yeah,
he's a very good footballer, really taking his chance very well at Burnley. But yeah, listen, you'll probably see Vidra. You'll probably see,
which is not a bad thing.
No, absolutely not. He's not a bad player. He's not a Premier League player, though, is he?
Don't know. He should have got that winner against Chelsea, shouldn't he?
He's not a Premier League player. He was at Derby for quite a while. I think that's his level. I think he's stretching it at Burnley, if I'm honest. I think he'd be much better suited to go into the Championship and trying to get 15 a season, maybe 20 for a team pushing. Be
careful what you wish for. The rest of them could be joining them in the Championship if things go.
You never know. Never know.
I'm going with Burnley on this one. I think I'm going to go your route actually on this, like the chart one. I'm going to go Burnley on penalties.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with our boy Woods getting the winning penalty.
With Chris Wood taking the winner?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think he'll hold him back to penalty 4 or 5 because he's a header specialist, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't tend to take too many penalties, does he?
No. But once you get the 4 or 5, you eventually have to throw your striker in, don't you?
I've seen him take a couple of penalties. There's absolutely no finesse in his penalty technique. It's absolutely bury it at all costs. That's all he goes for.
And generally straight up the middle.
Straight down the middle. Laces just above the height of the keeper and badum.
So if you happen to be the Huddersfield keeper and you listen to our show and you view it,
stay on your feet.
There's your Christmas present from us now. Stay on your feet.
Stay on your feet. Chris Wood will hit you. Absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, listen, pleasure talking to you about the FA Cup. Let us know what you think, viewers. Let us know your picks. We're trying to drum up the romance here. This is what we're trying to get the romance of the cup back.
It's special, isn't it? It's always been special, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. We need to feel that love again, don't we, for the FA Cup?
It's definitely something I miss in recent years. The FA Cup not being the occasion that it was previously. Yeah. You know, like FA Cup final day was a big, big day in football, and the eyes of the world turned to England and stuff like that, and your teams walked out of Wembley and they arrived in their suits and X amount of time, and there was the build-up going on from like 10 o'clock in the morning. They were walking around the park close to the hotel, and you had all of this. And now it kind of plays a little bit second fiddle, doesn't it? It's a bit of a damn squib.
Yeah, I say to people all the time, you know, if you want to restore the romance of the FA Cup, give it a Champions League spot. Take one of those 4 places away and give it to the FA Cup. And I tell you, see that romance, it'll go from 0 to 100 straight away.
Yeah, listen, it'll definitely...
I know that's a stretch.
It'll definitely get competitive. I think the problem with that is, and not that I don't agree with you, I just think the problem is you give the league space away, which is based on 38 games, and you give to a competition with maybe you need 6 wins, you know.
But look at how they tried to reinvent the Europa League by giving it the Champions League spot.
Yeah, but you see, I think that works because of the quality of what's playing in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but let's say once you
go.
I don't know. Once you get out of the 3rd round, and then you get into the business side of it there, where you have whatever it is, 16 teams left or whatever it is. That's the business end of it. And if you're looking at that, you imagine looking at that and you're a West Ham. How serious you're taking the FA Cup if you feel like you're not going to be in that top 4 shake-up.
Yeah, like, I can understand it. I think it's a little bit of a stretch based on...
100% a stretch. But
based on the criteria to win it, you know? Like, I think it's a little bit of a stretch. But
think about the Champions League. The Champions League, in reality, the Champions League only gets exciting from now. The group stage is a trawl at times, isn't it?
It is, but listen, Barcelona, they'd love to be through the group stages now, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I'm talking about big teams though.
Dortmund, you know, Erling Haaland, there's a guy, he's not only not playing in the World Cup now, he's also not playing in the Champions League.
When we talk about players adding zeros to their value like Mo Salah every week, we are talking about Erling Haaland at the moment taking zeros off his value.
I don't know about that now. He came on last night and scored 2 pretty good goals in the space of about 12, 13 minutes.
Doesn't matter. If you're getting tapped up by Ajax, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Ajax are a decent team. I don't think anyone will want them.
They are, yeah, but his valuation is nearly the valuation of that whole team.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, listen, there's how good Erik ten Hag is, yeah?
Absolutely.
The boy Sebastian Haller looked like, you know, he was working in the bleeding cloakroom at West Ham. And now he's banging goals in the Champions League. Now banging them in. So, you know, they're playing a serious brand of football at the minute. I think the groundswell of support for Erik is building to a crescendo, I would imagine, soon enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I suppose it depends on how the boy behind us gets on. Well, I don't say the boy, but the man behind us gets on. Ralph, he puts in a good season, gets you in a good place, and delivers a bit of silverware. He might be told that the lock is staying on the office of the consultancy role just a little bit longer.
Listen, he spoke himself and he said, I might tell the board it's more prudent to have me here for a year. Again, I think the problem is if United can't keep missing out on managers. So if it's a sense where you know you've got Ranić secured for another 2 years in that advisory role, do you take the punt on Ten Hag knowing if it doesn't work out, Ranić can step down again and come down into the dugout? Do you know?
Yeah.
Whereas if you leave Ranić in it, and you know, then when he does step upstairs, maybe there's not the options left or right you, and all of a sudden you're back at what do we do here, you know?
How do you feel that's going to work? Because the talk coming out today, I was listening, and it's probably for another show, to be honest. But the talk coming out was that if Ten Hag comes in, that he's bringing Van der Sar with him.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously there's the link there with United, isn't there? He's doing a sterling job as running Ajax. You know, he really, really is. He's the top man there, and he's obviously a football man. He's very, very knowledgeable. They've just given Mark Overmars a new deal as well, haven't they? Who's their sporting director and stuff like that. He has said he's got a couple of years left in the contract and he'd like to see it out at Ajax. And then he said after that, he said ultimately, he says, you know, things will happen and I'll be linked with places and stuff like that. I'd be fine to see him back at United, I have to say. Great servant for United when he came in, he really, really was. You know, like Linford Christie got better with age.
Imagine a situation where Ten Hag comes in to manage United and Van der Sar comes in and you also have Ralph there. That's a serious step up from the combination you've had there for the last couple of years.
So that's not only
that, what happens to Ajax then? What happens if Mark Overmars fancies a stint in North London?
And he might get it.
Absolutely.
on the basis that our boy Edu was, you know, probably sitting on a beach somewhere come January having a couple of bottle of pinga with the local Brazilian boys, isn't it?
Yeah, wonder when the full team
sticking,
be playing.
putting a bit more grease in his hair. Looking like Danny Suko from Greece with his leather coat up and all. What a shyster that guy is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, listen, pleasure reviewing the third round draw from the FA Cup. I always really enjoy the cup, even though I'm a Liverpool fan. But look, we have the history there and stuff like that. So, like yourselves, so be interesting to say. And I suppose if you want to match what you guys call the treble, the FA Cup has to be part of it.
I think Pep looks like he'd like to match us. I think he'd like to see that, you know. Yeah. I think he'd like to see City lift all three, and I think he'd happily get on the back of the horse and trot off into the sunset if he did that.
I think a Champions League would do him, in fairness.
Yeah, but I think that'd really give him the icing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because he'd kind of match what Ferguson did, and then he'd go over and out, lads. Good luck to you.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Well, pleasure as always. Dynamo Podcast Network on YouTube for the videos, Spotify for audio versions of the show. And if you'd like to contact the show, we're on Twitter at @the_upper_tier. Let us know your thoughts on the episode. Let us know your picks for the third round of the FA Cup. Has the romance returned, or can the romance return? And if you want to contact the show, you'll get us on Facebook and Instagram, The Upper Tier. Or if you want to check us out on TikTok, you'll get us on TikTok at The Upper Tier Podcast. Darren getting an awful time over there at the moment about Fred. Absolutely electric, these boys on TikTok at the moment.
It just, you know what they say, no? When you know, and some blokes just don't know. That's where TikTok viewers, yeah. Sometimes, lads, just don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just realised how we could get the romance back into the FA Cup.
Go on.
Hold the fourth round on Valentine's Day. Job done, son.
I think romance on Valentine's Day is a very lost thing at this stage. Till next time, a pleasure.
Cheers,
bud.